Hello students, I am Sayon from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. In my previous video lecture, I have discussed about the basic things of the our machine shop, and also I have discussed the main components and the operations that we done through our lathe. Okay, but today through this lecture, I am going to discuss about the actual metal cutting because in machine shop, our objective is to remove the metals. Okay, that means the machining. So machining is nothing but a metal removing process. And in this machining, the total energy required is summation of the energy required in plastic deformation to break the crystal structure and in overcoming the friction. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about this topic. This is metal cutting. Okay. So the metal cutting or material removing process can be done by the cutting tools. Okay. So if we speak about these cutting tools, mainly there are two types of cutting tools. One, that is the single point cutting tool, single point cutting tool, and another one is that second one, that is the multi point cutting tool. Okay. So at first I am talking about this single point cutting tool. Okay. So I have already told that in our machine shop we do the mainly the material removing process, that means machining. Okay, and this machining operation can be done through these cutting tools, and cutting tools can be divided into two types. These are the single point cutting tool and multi point cutting tool. Okay, so in case of this multi-point cutting tools, one thing is clear is that they have more than one cutting edge to remove the excess metals from the workpiece. Okay. In case of I am talking about this multi-point cutting tool. Okay. So in case of this multi-point cutting tool, more than one cutting edge will be to remove the excess material. But in case of this single point cutting tool, basically there are one cutting edge. Okay, the cutting tool it has a single point cutting edge. Okay, and the tool is made of either high carbon steel or the carbide also, it may be. Okay, so in case of this multi point cutting tool, we can give some examples of cuttings like milling, drilling, grooving, broaching. In these cases, we use this multi point cutting tool. Okay, the common example I have already told, and we have also seen in our workshop, that is the drilling. In case of our drilling, one cutting tool is that is the drill bit. That is a perfect example of a multi-point cutting tool. Okay, but in case of this single point cutting tool, some examples are there like the turning, shaping, planing. These are the examples of single point cutting tool. And also in our lathe we use a cutting tool to cut the metals or the remove the metals, and this is under this single point cutting tool. So today we are going to discuss mainly about this single point cutting tool. Okay, and one information I want to give, that is the in case of single point cutting tool we generally use HSS. Okay, and the full form of HSS is the high speed steel. That means low speed cutting will be there. And uh, another information is that the tool will be 30% harder than the workpiece will be. Okay, that means in any case of metal cutting, the tool will be harder than the workpiece, then only we can cut our workpiece. Okay, so now we are talking about the single point cutting tool. Okay, so one example I have given, that is the in our lathe we use this single point cutting tool. So today we are discussing about the single point cutting tool. Okay, so I'm going to draw a picture of this single point cutting tool. That means I want to show you the basic tool geometry. Okay. Please draw with me so you can understand. Sorry. So I'm drawing a picture of a single point cutting tool. Okay, this is the procedure to draw a single point cutting tool. It is difficult to draw here, but still I'm trying. So this is our picture of a single point cutting tool. Okay, this is a cutting tool. In lathe also we can see this type of cutting tool that will be held in our tool post. Okay, so there are various parts here. I'm going to show you. That is the this portion. This portion is called shank. Shank. Okay, and another parts are there. I'm going to show you those parts at first. This portion, this part, that means okay. This is called side rake angle. This is called side rake angle. Okay. Another thing is that this portion, that means this part is called, this is called side relief angle. Okay, this is called relief angle. Okay, here we can see this type of curve. Here this portion is called nose. That means this portion is called nose, and the radius is called nose radius. Okay, another I'm already told, in our single point cutting tool there will be one cutting edge. Okay, so this is our main cutting edge. This is our cutting edge. This is our cutting edge. Okay. So another parts are also there, like the this portion. This portion is called rake face. That means I am talking about this part. This part is called rake face. Rake face. Okay. Again, this is called end cutting edge angle. Okay. This is called end cutting edge angle. This is called end cutting edge angle, and this portion is called end flank. End end flank. Another part is that uh, this portion is called basically the clearance. Okay, clearance, or this is also called end relief angle. End relief angle. Okay. Another I have already told, this is our cutting edge. Okay, and this portion, that means sorry, okay, this angle is called side cutting edge angle. This is called side cutting edge angle. Okay, again, this portion, that means this, between this and this. Okay, this is called back rake angle. This is called back rake angle. So here is the total tool geometry. Another part I have told, but that is not mentioned here. Now I'm mentioning, that is the that is here. This is called rake face. I'm writing here. This is called rake face. This is called rake face. So all these are the under the tool geometry of a single point cutting tool. So I'm going into detail of these portions in my upcoming videos. Okay, if you like this video, please like and share to your friends. Thank you for watching.